Good morning, dear student. I hope I am audible. Okay, I feel I am being audible. Okay, let us continue with the new topic for today's class, that is green technology. This is a very interesting topic because without green technology, our future will not be possible. So with green technology, we'll be studying about another new topic, that is hybrid vehicle technology. Okay, so as a addition, you can say, for my class, for my online class, I have a habit of telling you about the course objectives and the course outcome. So we have 6 outcomes. Hopefully we'll be completing the third outcome today, and the other 3 outcomes are a bit easier, and you know everything about those outcomes, so we'll just be compiling them together. So we have done the red part here in the class. So at the end of this unit, you'll be able to apply the knowledge about the use of alternative sources of energy. Okay, and the sign marks to this unit is 11. Coming back to the major topic, our main topic for today's lecture, that is green technology. What do you mean by green and what do you mean by technology? Green is basically been associated with your environment, okay, the greenery around. And technology is nothing but advancement in the way we work, right? So if we just add both of these words together, so we need to find out a technology which will be like good for the environment, which will not be a burden to the environment, which will not be creating pollution to the environment, and we can have a sustainable development in whole. Okay, so in other words, I can say we should have a holistic development of the environment as well as of the technology. Henceforth, this term green technology has been coined by two different words. So green is basically been environment. Technology is nothing but advancement in engineering field or in medical field or in any of the field. And when you club together, so it gives a new branch that is known as green technology, which is the need of our. Because if we want to sustain, if we want to live, if we want our generation to be happy, if we want our generation to explore all the good things of environment, then we need to no doubt go with the green technology. Okay. So basically it is been referred to any technology which basically intended to reduce the impact of humans on environment. That means we should create or we should design a technology which will be creating less of pollution onto the environment or less of impact onto the environment. Okay. This can also include technologies that basically reduces the resources application, as well as which also incorporate renewable sources of energy. What do you mean by renewable sources of energy? Examples we can think of is solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy, right? So if we have the like if we use all these energy, no doubt will not be creating any harmful impact into the environment. So this has been told to you in the previous classes as well. This green technology, it also includes the reverses the damages to the environment, though there are very few products that basically falls into this category. Lekin there are certain products which basically reverses the damages to the environment. For example, we can say कि soil remediation method and carbon sequestration technology can also be considered into green technology. We need not worry about these two terms. It is just a part of your understanding. Fine, इतना detail में जाना नहीं है. So we know global warming is reality. So it is a very much a growing problem, and it has been a great concern to the environmentalist, to the person in the society as well, as because it has been producing harmful health effect, right, as well as it has been having harmful effect on the environment. So one of the best way to fight the global warming is to adopt green technology. Okay, so engineers and scientists around the world, they have been developing technological solutions aim it or they have been aiming to reduce and eliminate everything that causes global warming, and indirectly global warming has been responsible for climate changes. So all these things, all these parameters has to be kept in mind. First we need to think of the environment and as well as the human being also. So let us talk about certain examples of green technology that has been environmental friendly. So wastewater treatment, one of the way to adopt for green technology. So in this field, there are few technological developments, but existing ones are important. We are working on wastewater treatment. So there are industries, you can say there are plants where they have been utilizing the wastewater. They have been recycling the wastewater, and they are fulfilling their demand. So they're not been relying on the natural resources more. So whatever resources they have, they are utilizing that water again and again. So in that way, we have been reducing the pollution, the water pollution to a greater extent. So this is one of the example for green technologies. So here in this water wastewater treatment, there are certain developments which has been taken place, and they basically includes now they have been used nowadays also. So they basically includes what membrane filtration, microbial fuel cells, then nanotechnology, then development of biological treatment and natural treatment systems such as wetlands. Okay, fine. So these are the few developments which is basically been adopted nowadays. And all these processes which we have been using, they have been used to make water drinkable or significantly reduces the presence of pollutant from which from where it was being obtained, right? And before pouring it out, before pouring out the water into the resources like sea or sea or river, so if they have been treated, so no doubt it will be creating less of harmful impact onto the resources as well. So sometimes we have been using the wastewater treatment for obtaining drinkable water. Okay, and sometimes what we do, we just treat the wastewater and we allow the water to be passed into the resources as well. So anything can happen. So you can take one of the very good example here is in Dubai and in Saudi Arab. There the water has been very much scarce. So what they have been doing for drinking purpose, they have special you can say supply, but for the bathing purpose or for washing purposes and all. So what they are doing, they are basically converting the wastewater, the uh, waste water which has been obtained after some application, they have been processing it, and again it has been circulated back into the city for uses. So this is the advancement of green technology. Then elimination of industrial emissions. So there are a number industries have been growing due to industrial revolution. I have told you this also in the previous class, and these industries, they are being no doubt giving out in numbers of emission into the environment, which is causing pollution or global effects, or you can say green global warming also. So what experts now say, the treatment of emissions, management of air pollutant in industries can significantly reduces the greenhouse effect. So before allowing the waste gases to be given out into the environment, if they have been treated beforehand, then no doubt we can easily reduces the greenhouse effect. So methane and carbon dioxide are the substances that basically harm the environment to the maximum, because they are only the one those who have been uh, causing greenhouse effect or global warming. So these industries or these waste has to be managed. Okay, fine. So there are again nothing. What you need to do is you just need to put certain special types of filters. They can be attached to the chimneys, and there all the waste can be hold back, or they can be converted into some useful product, or they can be converted into components which is not been harmful to the environment. Okay, so industries such as chemical, petrochemical, then pharmaceutical, automotive, they must eliminate their elimination so as not to cause any serious environmental damage. And nowadays, strict laws are being framed for these industries so that they do not, you can say, pollute the environment. If any industries has been violating the norm, they have been fined or they have been allowed to shut down the you can say plant. Now, next is recycling and waste management. This is one of the best thing we should go for. Recycling and reusing it, and waste management. How to manage the waste. So the increase in household and industrial waste has been disproportionate. Fine. So जितना industrial waste निकल रहा है उतना ही household waste निकल रहा है. And I should say कि दोनों टक्कर के ही रहते हैं मेरे ख्याल से. No one is ready to accept the thing, but is almost same. So if we can manage the solid waste which has been like given out into the environment from industries, so that will be a very good part. Okay, so nowadays what is been happening is ki, we are having smart containers, right? Automated food waste tracking systems are been there, and then automated optical scanning technologies that has been adopted in order to sort out the mixed plastic by separating them from other metals, right? So what we can do is, for example, if we can get metal and plastic, we can segregate the metal and the plastic and it can be recycled. Okay, so in this way we can easily do the waste management by recycling process. So abhi nowadays this has been more used often in cities and all. We can see the garbage bin being kept for wet garbage, dry garbage. Then we are now also been like managing the waste in terms of biodegradable, right? Harmful, radioactive, so on and so forth. So this is the best way by which we can uh, reduce the impact of waste onto the environment. Then self-sufficient buildings is one of the, you can say, key new concept nowadays. So what has been happening here in self-sufficient building, we are been using the renewable sources of energy here. For example, solar energy. So this, the building which is been constructed, it is having the provision of solar cell, solar panels, so that the electricity consumption is being like carried out by itself, or it is being like covered up by itself. Fine. So they do not rely on to the general. For I'm just giving example. So they do not rely on to the general. You can say electricity. Fine. So they generate their electricity. So they are self-sufficient building. So nowadays these types of building are being constructed. So they are like themselves able to function by generating energy without the need of an external contribution. So one of the best way is to no doubt put solar tracking system, yeah, or you can say photovoltaic panel along with the solar tracking system, and this basically reduces, or you can basically increases the optimal use of radiation with the help of these kind of building. So these building, they basically have a very airy areas, or the buildings have been constructed in such a way that the fresh air is keeping it cool. The angle at which the building is being made, so it has been made in such a way that the building has been keeping cool. So if the building has been keeping cool on itself, no doubt we need to rely on to the other external contribution decreases. Okay. Waste to energy. So there are various methods by which we can convert the waste to energy. So generation of energy from waste is also known as waste to energy, and it basically generate energy from the garbage. So example is that there is a group known as TCAM. So they develop waste treatment solution that generate electricity in the form of steam, hot water, or electricity, and then that can be utilized for certain internal processes. For that we need to give them waste, they'll give you the solution how to convert the waste into energy. Okay, then this is known to you generation of energy from the waves. So we know ki the waves which has been there in the sea, it hold tremendous kinetic energy, and if it can be converted into electricity, no doubt it is one of the best way, a green way to obtain electricity. Okay. So in Portugal, first wave energy management was being like built up, and it was being 8 kilometers away from the coast. And the plant has a capacity of around 2.25 megavolt watt, and it has been able to supply electricity up to 1500 homes. So no doubt the construction cost was been more, but when you see the capacity with which the electricity is being produced there, it is tremendous. So maintenance cost is high, but no, we can produce greater amount of energy from the waves. Now we can adopt green technology with the vehicles that do not emit gases. Okay. So they are known as ecological vehicles, and they have been called so because their application does not produces any negative influence onto the environment, basically contribute in reducing the pollution, okay, mainly of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, then hydrocarbon which are being unburned, and certain amount of lead and sulfur dioxide. So there are certain vehicles, they are responsible for emitting less gases. Then we can go for green technology with the help of vertical gardens and farms. In Nagpur, you must have seen the vertical garden near the airport, right? So this is one of the way by which we can introduce ourselves or our environment with green technology. So the installation of vertical gardens in building also helps to save energy and brings many benefits to the environment. Basically, the vertical garden does not need watering routine that involves unnecessary use of water, and because they have been installed along a wall, they reduces the intense hearing pollution that comes out from the outside and even that from the one we generate. Okay. Then it also helps in isolating the higher temperature that is being presented by the climate change, resulting in significant saving in energy, heating and air conditioning. So if we use this, we can save a lot of water. So what happens in vertical garden? We plant the trees, or we plant the you can say saplings on either building, right? ऐसे इस तरह से इसे plant कर दिए जाते हैं, right? And what you excuse me. And what has been done here is कि only this part is being watered. The rest of the plant is like we need not water them. So the water which has been taken up by the plant is sufficient, and the rest of the water has been allowed to percolate down. So in this way, by watering one plant, we are saving energy. Automatically, every plant gets a certain amount of water, right? Okay. So this is how it is being done. So this plantation basically keeps the wall. If it has been installed on a building, so it is going to keep the wall here cool because okay, evaporation leads to cooling. So cooling will be here. So this area here, we will be reducing the consumption of electricity. Okay. So we can say कि there are vertical farms up to 100 hectares. वर्टिकली करेंगे तो जमीन कम लगेगी, हर चीज अच्छी होगी, फाइन, यस, एंड नो डाउट वी आर यूजिंग लेस अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर फॉर इट्स ग्रोथ ऑल्सो. इन सोलर पैनल, ये तो आप सबको पता है कि सोलर पैनल्स आर वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट एंड दे आर द more popular technology in terms of green name, and we can have all the solar panels from battery to a very huge panel for generating electricity. So no doubt solar panel basically it requires a lot of space. The cost is more. The installation cost is more. But at the end of the day, or as if you use this solar technology continuously in terms of green, so it will reduce the cost automatically. The cost will be reduced. Okay, fine. Certain care has to be taken here. Fine. The care is like that. We need to clean the solar panel continuously so that the dust and the you can say the dirt does not get accumulated onto it. If the dust is been accumulated onto the solar panel, no doubt the efficiency of the solar panel reduces. That is one of the major thing we need to take care of it. Otherwise, rest is good. So you can have, except in rainy season, we can have the production of solar, you can electricity with the help of solar panel continuously throughout in India, because we have very less winters, and in winters also the intensity of the sun is quite good, so we can see the formation of electricity, we can see the production of electricity there as well. Okay. The major problem here is we need to store whatever amount of energy which is being produced. So that can be stored in the form of, you can say, batteries, big batteries, or we can install a solar panel in an area and the electricity can be supplied to the MSEB, and then MSEB can supply to the city. That can be done. So there are n numbers of ways by which we can do the energy computing as well here. Solar heating is one of the best part nowadays. Everyone is having solar panel. We are having solar heater. So this also basically reduces the electricity consumption. So another problem here is that we cannot use the solar heating in solar in summers because we do not want water. But in summers we can go with solar cooking also. Fine. So again we can reduce the electricity consumption, or we can reduce the consumption of LPG at household. So this energy, solar heating, can be utilized in generating electricity on a larger scale. Then wind turbines. So this can only be done into big areas where you have a pretty good areas of land and a very good, you can say, speed of wind. Okay. So after solar panel, wind turbines come into picture. This is one of the, or you can say, it has been considered as the gold standard of green technology. So you can install wind turbines where you cannot have solar panels effectively installed due to the very less amount of solar radiation. And in solar radiation, one problem was that we were been getting solar radiation only in daytime, and in nighttime that was been unused. Whereas in this wind turbine, this can be utilized throughout the day 24/7. Okay, it depends upon the velocity of the wind or with the speed of the wind, the generation can be easily carried out. So this area where the wind turbines are being installed can be utilized for farming or for any other purposes also, because the winds or the turbines are being, or you can say this windmill are being installed at a very high position. So at the ground level, you can do farming. Okay. They have a limited operational life, and why? Because of the continuous, you can say, effect of wind onto the blade. We need to keep on changing the blade. Then we need the maintenance cost for this wind turbine is bit high. Rest is okay, fine. Otherwise, and this also generate a very greater amount of power, whether the wind is slow or not, or it is high, you will see the generation of electricity. Because जितना वो मूव होता रहेगा, हवा तो चलती ही रहती है, तो जैसे जैसे विंड आपका ब्लेड्स मूव होंगे तो वो शाफ्ट एंड रोटेटर मूव होगा, एंड देन आप अपने आप धीरे धीरे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो है वो जनरेट होगी। एंड बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में विंड मिल आप किए जाते हैं, इंस्टॉल किए जाते हैं, तो हर एक भी थोड़ा थोड़ा मूव करेंगे, तो जब हम सबको सम अप करेंगे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है। दिस इज़ वेरी गुड सो वे ऑफ गोइंग विथ, यू कैन से, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन। बट यहाँ पर एक ये है कि आपको कंटिन्यूसली विंड ब्लेड्स जो है वो चेंज करने पड़ते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ करोजन एंड अदर इफेक्ट्स। ड्रॉबैक इसका बहुत बड़ा ये है कि जो माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स होते हैं ना, उनके जो पाथ होता है इनकी वजह से चेंज हो जाता है। तो माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स का आना जाना या उनका जो साइकिल रहता है, दिस विंड विल बेसिकली हैम्पर्स इट। So that is one of the, you can say, bad thing. But again, keeping in mind the impact of environment, we can think of it. Recycling, as I've told you, we just need to recycle as many things as possible we can, especially the cell phones and the high-end electronics. Okay. So recycling is only one of the best way to restore the energy. So the commonly recycled material which includes is aluminium, steel, plastic and paper. So aluminium is basically been aluminium, you can say iron also. One of the greater thing is iron. Right. So it has to be recycled because we cannot think of wasting the material. We'll not be getting the material again. So we are using them again and again. So one of the major concern here is that we are having a problem in bringing back all the waste material or recycling all the waste material which has been created from the electronic goods. So that is basically been, we can say, question of concern. Again, work is being carried out onto it, and hopefully you'll get a solution for the things as well. So China is one of the major sources of these materials, and trade wars and their own restrictive manufacturing rules, they limit access to this critical material for the rest of the world. So China basically is having monopoly. They are being only taking care of cell phones and high end electronic goods, एंड इसके अंदर ना बहुत सारे रेयर अर्थ मिनरल्स को यूज किया जाता है. सो दैट इज बेसिकली बीन कंसर्न. तो उसको किस तरह से रिसाइकल करना वो सबको नहीं आता. सो द टेक्नोलॉजी विच इज बीन डेवलप्ड बाय चाइना, दे नो हाउ टू रिसाइकल इट. सो it is one of the major concern. Okay, and recycling program is basically been found in Japan, and recycling is also like one of the major part where we are being taking back the rare earth elements from the, you can say, the lights, from the lights like tube lights and all. It is having fluorescence into it, so that can be recycled. So incineration is nothing but burning. So we can do the recycling with the help of burning also. Okay. Like if you want to generate electricity, we have been burning coal, right? But this is having certain limitations. So we can recycle the products, or we can recycle the waste by burning also. So energy that can be produced by natural object like sun, wind, etc. is being considered as renewable. So technologies that have been in application including wind power, hydropower, solar, geothermal and biomass or bioenergy, they are being termed as green technologies. Switching to a new topic, that is hybrid vehicle technology. What do you mean by a hybrid? Hybrid is nothing but we are just advancing its way how it works. Fine. So a hybrid basically combines two methods for the propulsion of a vehicle. Okay. So it can have a possible combination of diesel electric, right, gasoline and flywheel, uh, along with you can say a fuel cell or a battery cell. कॉम्बिनेशन अगर दो या तीन टेक्नोलॉजीज का आ जाएगा तो हम उसको बोलेंगे हाइब्रिड. ठीक है. तो व्हीकल में व्हाट वी हैव बीन डूइंग कि द प्रोपल्शन ऑफ अ व्हीकल, प्रोपल्शन यानी कि हाउ इट वर्क्स, हाउ इट मूव्स, किस तरह से वो मूव होगा उस पर डिपेंड करता है. ठीक है. तो कॉम्बिनेशन कौन कौन से रहेंगे इसमें? डीजल इलेक्ट्रिक रह सकता है, गैसोलीन और फ्लाईव्हील रह सकता है, और वी कैन हैव एनी ऑफ द डीजल और पेट्रोल व्हीकल वर्किंग ऑन फ्यूल सेल और बैटरी सेल. So what is the need for hybrid vehicle? क्या जरूरत है हमको? We need to have regenerative parking, right? Then we need to have fuel efficiency, and it has been greatly increased. So if you go with hybrid vehicle, the efficiency is being increased twice. If you go with the hybrid vehicle, the emission they have been decreased tremendously. Then we will not be having more of dependency onto the fossil fuel. Okay. So hybrid can be run on alternative fuel as well. So we have CNG vehicles with us nowadays. We have LPG vehicles with us nowadays. But the CNG and LPG, they no doubt they are alternative fuel. But again, we are depending upon what? Fossil fuel. So we need to go with a technology in which we do not have to depend upon fossil fuel or its byproduct. Fine. And in hybrid vehicle, we can have new material that can be implemented. For example, fuel cell. Fine. Fuel cell you can think of. Then you can think of battery. So we can see nowadays we have a battery run two vehicles, battery run four wheelers. Okay. So this is nothing but example for hybrid vehicle. So what are the types of hybrid vehicle? So there are actually four types of hybrid vehicle. the series hybrid vehicle, the mild hybrid vehicle, the parallel hybrid vehicle and the full hybrid vehicle. तो हमको दो चीज को ही पढ़ना है, दो पे ध्यान देना है हमको. कौन सा? माइल्ड एंड फुल हाइब्रिड व्हीकल पे ध्यान देना है. ओके. So there is a difference in series and parallel. Series में what has been happening is fuel tank से gasoline engine जाएगा, generate होगा, battery को backup देगा, and generator से we can have the electric motor and then transmission and then wheel movement of wheel occurs. So this battery pack, this also helps in electric motor to move. Fine. So that is basically a series hybrid vehicle. In parallel hybrid, we'll have a battery pack and a fuel tank. So we have basically an electric motor which supports the transmission through battery, and we have a gasoline engine which supports, which has been like in coordination or in touch with the fuel tank, and it also helps in transmission, and then no doubt the wheels have been moving. So there is two different thing, right? सीरीज में अलग आएगा, सीरीज में एंड पैरेलल में अलग. पैरेलल में दोनों चीजें पैरेलल में चल रही हैं, एंड सीरीज में क्या होगा, एक के बाद एक चलती जा रहा है. So what are the which technologies are being used in these hybrid vehicle? So they have automatic stop and start, right? Auto stop and start रहता है. Then they provide assistance in engine in accelerating, passing or hill climbing. Automatically your machine or your vehicle, it gives you an indication hill climbing आया to change the gear. Now slow down, you're exceeding the limit of your speed. So ये सब चीजें, छोटी छोटी जो चीजें रहती है ना, वो आपको सब ब्लिंक होता रहता है कि सीट बेल्ट नहीं लगाया फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो वो ब्लिंकिंग होता रहेगा कंटिन्यूसली. सीट बेल्ट लगाओ. देन आपने डोर क्लोज नहीं किया फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सो दे विल हैव एन असिस्ट कि क्लोज द डोर आर नॉट बीन क्लोज्ड. So these are all nothing but certain small application, or you can say advancement in technology which has been adopted by the hybrid vehicle. So there is a regenerative braking which has been recaptured, and this helps when something is lost into the normal braking system. So automatically the motion of the wheels has been turned off. ठीक है, and it helps in slowing down the vehicle. So this is the better part. So it basically helps in minimizing the accidents. Right? Advantages of hybrid vehicle देख लेते हैं. Lower emission है, better mileage है. They these cars basically use no energy during idle state. जब खाली पीली खड़ी रहती ना, तो they don't use any energy. They turn off and use less than petrol engine at low speed. Right? At lower speed, that is in traffic, no smog is emitted, maintaining its sustainable advantages. Hybrid car offers greater mileage than other car. Mileage इसका बढ़ जाएगा. Noise pollution and emission of CO2 has been reduced at a very greater extent. Then hybrids are reliable and comfortable. Okay. Hybrids are much cleaner cars than normal vehicles because smell नहीं आएगा पेट्रोल का, डीजल का, इसमें स्मेल नहीं रहता. नॉर्मल व्हीकल से इसमें स्मेल नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है. Due to this regenerative braking technologies, the batteries need not be charged by an external sources. Then hybrid basically helps reduces the dependency, which directly affects the fuel prices. Drawbacks देख लेते हैं. They're expensive, बिल्कुल है. They're complex in construction, and working is also very much complex. ठीक है. एंड अगर हाइब्रिड कार ख़राब हो जाएगी तो रिपेयर बिल्स आर वेरी हाई, बिकॉज हमारे पास रिपेयर स्टेशन कम है, तो दूर दूर तक भेजना पड़ेगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली टाइम एंड अमाउंट इज इंक्रीज्ड. So batteries are not very much advanced, so that we cannot run the car for a longer distance on battery itself. So we need to have dual here. तो parallel लगता है हमको यहाँ पर. ठीक है, फ्यूल भी लगेगा, साथ में बैटरी भी लगेगा अगर लंबा जाना है तो. Because the weight of the battery is high, so automatically the car का weight जो रहेगा बल्कि हो जाएगा. If something goes wrong, unfortunate accident होता है, so there is a risk of exposure of high voltage wires because it has batteries. ठीक है. Then complicated architecture is there. Yes, it has to be, because we are using two technology under one roof. not suitable for long distance journey, as I've told you in the previous point. And there are certain batteries, they do not work in cold weather, and the spare parts is very much hard to find, and अगर मिल भी गया तो बहुत costly रहेंगे, because हर कोई हाइब्रिड व्हीकल यूज नहीं कर रहा है, तो स्पेयर पार्ट्स एवरीथिंग, कुछ भी मिलना है इसका, कुछ भी खराब हुआ है मुश्किल ही होगी, सो दैट बिकम्स अ कॉस्टली अफेयर। तो पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट है इसका हाइब्रिड व्हीकल का। सो देर आर बेसिकली टू टाइप्स ऑफ हाइब्रिड्स, इलेक्ट्रिक हाइब्रिड है और एक है हाइड्रोजन हाइब्रिड। Electric hybrid is the one which has been using electric motor as their alternative source of energy. That means it is getting energy from electricity or from batteries and all. And hydrogen hybrid matlab, it is the hybrid which is basically extracting the energy from you can say water. I can use the word fuel cell here. Okay. So दोनों का क्या है पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट एनवायरनमेंट पे, वो सिंपल पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट यही है कि एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन जो रहता है वो काफ़ी हद तक कम हो जाता है, दैट्स ऑल। ओके। नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या रहेगा? नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या रहेगा? बिकॉज इट इज़ फ्यूल एफिशिएंट, ठीक है, एंड इट इज़ एनवायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट की बात कर रही हूँ मैं, सो इट इज़ गुड फॉर द एनवायरमेंट, बट जब हम माइलेज की बात करेंगे तो हमको उतना ही एनर्जी लगेगा। तो नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट एनवायरनमेंट पे ये रह रहा है कि हमको बार बार क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसको चार्ज करते रहना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। तो चार्ज अगर हम करते तो हमको हर जगह चार्जिंग पॉइंट बनाने पड़ेंगे, सो दैट बेसिकली क्रिएट नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ऑन टू द इन्वायरमेंट। इनडायरेक्टली आएगा, डायरेक्टली नहीं आएगा। एमिशंस हमको पता है, स्मोक प्रोड्यूसिंग गैसेस रहती है, राइट, एंड स्मोक आपको पता है इट रिड्यूसेस द विजिबिलिटी। सो हाइब्रिड व्हीकल जो रहता है दैट बेसिकली प्रोड्यूसेस वेरी लेस परसेंटेज ऑफ स्मोक देन कन्वेंशनल काउंटर पार्ट। सो स्मोक आपको पता है क्या होता है? स्मोक इज नथिंग बट इट इंक्लूड्स NOx, HC hydrocarbons and other volatile organic compound, and they basically reduces the visibility ना। फॉग और स्मोक अगर एक्चुअली मिल गए गैस वेस्ट गैसेस के साथ तो दे फॉर्म स्मोक, तो दे reduces the visibility, they causes n number of respiratory issues and all. So in terms of if you use hybrid vehicle, so जो प्रोडक्शन है स्मोक प्रोड्यूसिंग जो एबिलिटी है नॉर्मल कन्वेंशनल की, वो कितनी हो जाएगी? अभी हाइब्रिड के साथ 10% हो जाएगी, फाइन, एंड इट रिड्यूसेस। सो ऐसा बोला जाता है कि मिड साइज कार, mid-sized sports utility vehicle and full-size SUVs, they basically reduces emissions by 15%, 19% and 21% respectively, other than their counterpart. Okay. Okay, so these are the certain references book. What I'll suggest you is, dear students, please for my notes and all, because you need to have notes. So I have printed notes in the name of environment and engineering, which was nothing but a small textbook for semester 1 BE. We are 4 co-authors here, myself, my friend Dilip, Gaurav and Archana. So what my suggestion is ki you please go with this book. You will get everything here in detail, right? And this book has been available. And for any assistance in getting this book, you may please call me. I'll help you out. Fine. So this book contain all the notes. There won't be any printed notes which has been एक ही बात होती है, मैं आपको printed notes दे दूँ और आप जाके xerox कराएं या लिखें, ठीक है? So you please go with this book and refer. There are so many things which has been given here. And please keep one thing in mind, everything cannot be taught in the class. For that you need to read. And please read this book. This will help you in scoring maximum in your examination. Okay, that's all we have for today's class. See you tomorrow. Today also I'll be having one more class for just 20-25 minutes. So I'll be sending you the link half an hour before. Please join. Kindly give your attendance. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay indoor. And kindly give your attendance in the Google form which has been circulated in your WhatsApp group of your respective class.